Well, I'm going to try to finish this, and I'm just going to say this, and if anybody cares, I put 3 up, and I'm not going to put any more. I'm going to make this one short. I wrote about mind control murders in 76 to April Fool's Day, 80 when I was still full of antifreeze. And it was a living hell, what happened to me. I was illegally taken across the state line. I should have died, by the way. The day before Easter, I was illegally transported there, and on Easter, you should see what they were doing to me in Huntsville. I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace and brought to Moulton, Alabama, and I was given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married a Childers, so I had a dead person's identity. This is the birth certificate of Carl. Both twins were dead. This is Lina, the mother. They were born out of wedlock, and all their family covered it up while Elizabeth took my money, traded her to her country. Her dad helped kidnap me and became illegal George VI. He helped the Freemasons. The Jews. Joe Kennedy was ambassador to England, appointed by him. So the Kennedys were a part of it. To take down my father, the most honorable man. How many lies? And then, if it's ever told, you'll see what they did to me, his daughter, Victoria II, and I am the legal heir. Talk about Cain and Abel. This man's a rotten SOB. There's no words for any of these people. And what's going on over in France right now has more, the press is lying to you. They haven't printed any of this, the truth about me, about the mind control murders. They say there's freedom of speech. Well, you think a monarch being kidnapped and me writing the book on mind control murders, some of them were done in patterns. It's who's doing it. And the press won't print it. They don't want it told now. It is the honest thing. I don't know if anybody remembers Dorothy Kilgallen, the newspaper columnist that was supposed to have the link to the Kennedy. Well, the Kennedy assassination was, nobody seems to care here in this country that, what do you think's been done to me and my family? Assassinated because we're allowed to live one day, one footstep into hell every day, and that's really it. And they don't want to tell it. They love this man that helped kidnap me, a little baby, and the torture that was done to me and my 2 sons here. So I'm going to leave it at that. The press is a bunch of lying thugs. I've crawled and begged from the time I did the book before I found out about being kidnapped in Atlanta in 76, before then, really. And nobody will tell the truth in it. I want to finish this. Jack Hartsfield. This is to Sal Bazzini. He sent me a copy. Sal Bazzini was an FBI agent. He did wrote a book. It was a small book, not too big. It wasn't a pamphlet. It was a book. And in it, he said he'd be killed if he told, well, that was the opening lines, I remember. He was sent there to help me, keep me alive. I'd written the book, Larry McDonald, Congressman Doctor, and all the mess that happened, and trying to get the book published. Had a letter from the FBI, June the 23rd of 79. Larry Flint was shot March the 6th of 78 in Lawrenceville, Georgia, while I was doing the book in Marietta, and the person was programmed to shoot him and kill his attorney. Now, this was in 84 that was published. I was in his home twice in October during the campaign to replace the doctor, Congressman Larry McDonald, whose plane went down when the KAL, he was on it, and it was shot down by the Soviets when it veered into their airspace. Now then, all aboard died. Nixon, who's a part of this whole mess, corrupt mess, was on that plane and taken off in Juneau, Alaska. It was en route from Juneau to Seoul. Went down in the ocean. All aboard died, supposedly. Larry McDonald was on there, so they had to have known it was going down when they took Nixon off. Anyway, I wanted to finish this, and I've put up about 3, if anybody that's connected to this one this morning, and I got a whole list of them, starting when a girl that's involved, her death, Alexis Murphy. I was given this phone. I've been kept penniless. It's horrible, but in plain sight, this has all been done. But anyway, I don't know for how much good it's done me, but I'm just going to finish this. Jack, he's FBI, and so was Sal Bazzini. He became mayor there. I mean, he came over in '80, and Jack was there, and to keep me from being killed again. I mean, I'd had antifreeze put in me. I worked for the DA, and they're still trying to kill me, and Jack was there trying to help, and Bazzini. Anyway, when I was out at Jack, so he sent me letters, and for the purpose of telling it. But I'm just going to finish this. It's the last letter I've been trying to tell, and I probably won't get it on here. He's talking about, when I came back, Larry Flint furnished me a car. I had everything taken. I had antifreeze, and that's a living hell in itself. And they were still trying to kill me. That didn't work, so they were still trying to kill me. And anyway, I didn't have any contact with Mr. Flint after I left his home then, the second time in October during that campaign. And he had a car leased for me when I got back to Atlanta, and I was really on the side of the road again a year later when the car went. I didn't have any money. I couldn't get jobs, very few. I was pumping gas really in Grottoes, Virginia. And, well, anyway, so I'm back here. I stopped by Jack's. I was going to turn the car back in to Flint. I had no money. Well, anyway, it ended up I kept it. I didn't get, they wouldn't hang up on me. I would call where I used to get right through to him, and they'd put me on hold or switch me and put me on hold. They'd never hang up like they were still there. It's my interpretation. Anyway, I stopped by Jack's on the way back, and he was in Santa Fe, right across from Georgia O'Keeffe Ghost Ranch in Abiquiu. And I found out she's my aunt, and my mother's Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe, American Catholic. She was a teacher. And she's the one that's married. My mom, not she's the one, she was married to my father, King Edward VIII. The whole thing was contrived and he was taken down. He never married Wallace Simpson. She married a double. So I could go on and on. I've put that up. I wanted to finish this letter for whatever Jack sent, and he sent quite a few. He's talking about the Freemasons, and that's who kidnapped me. But when I was out there, trying to give the car back to Flint or Hustler magazine, and didn't succeed. And I came back and penniless, and I stopped by Jack's. He's working for the New Mexican News, and it was a painting that was there, and he was very nice to me. He filled up my gas tank before I left. Stayed there about a week or 2 weeks, and anyway, he said, and this is going to go out. He's talking about the Freemasons, and he's supposed to be talking. It was a painting that I saw in his home, and George O'Keeffe, my aunt, was an artist, and I would have been a darn good one myself if I'd been able to pursue it. He's talking here to Mayor Joe Davis, Jack is, and they're talking about the Freemasons, etc. And Mr. Mayor, the mayor said he thought that Sal Bazzini, the police chief, best thing ever happened to Huntsville. Well, Sal was FBI and sent there for the very reason I said so I wouldn't die, to help Jack. Mr. Mayor, Jack said, I think you're right. Joe and I both knew, and this is Jack, the depths of corruption that had befallen Huntsville over the years. Deaf ears of the Huntsville Times and the rest of the power structure and criminal elements who were enjoying the stranglehold. I always trusted Joe. He always trusted me. Odd that when I was researching a biographical data sheet on Joe much, much later, there was one very simple notation, Freemason. Take care. Jack.